This time we replace this old gate intercom with this new one, the Gate Access starter kit from Unifi. But there's a whole lot more to it, so grab your popcorn, because this will be a good one. All right, so let me give you a tour of what the project is, because there's more than just the Gate Access kit. I know that's sort of the star of the show, but there's a lot we need to do to actually make it work. So that's gonna go here at the gate. There's gonna be a new pole gooseneck thing. I'll show you that. That's really cool as well, actually. I've never been this excited about posts. So, okay, let me show you what else we got. So I'm just gonna walk up here. So here is the existing pole that's kind of on a lean. It's sunk in a bit, but we'll fix that too. So let me just explain to you what's going to happen here. So we have the old keypad here, that's going to stay. So this whole project is using old with new, and I think it'll work. Then, as you can see behind us, there is the solar point. That's up there. The solar point is the Unifi switch and solar controller in one. We're not going to keep using that. And the main reason I'm not going to use that is that it only delivers 24 volt passive, which means that all of those devices up there you see, there's a mesh access point, and there's a G3 bullet camera, and there's a nano station. All of those I can't upgrade because they're the only ones I have to run on 24 volt passive PoE. So in order to get new devices on there, because I would like to upgrade them, they're about 4 years old now, I'm going to use this. All right, hang on. So I'm going to use that. That is an Edge Switch 8, which is 150 watts of PoE power. Of course, that delivers PoE Plus, which is what we need. But more importantly, this can be powered by 48 volt DC, which is what solar panels give us. Yay! So we're going to use an Edge Switch. But in order to use that, we're going to have to now also have a new solar controller. Here's the new solar controller. This is the one I was recommended from Victron Energy. And we should be able to get some Bluetooth data out of that and maybe into Home Assistant. That might be a different video, but that is why I chose that. So there's the solar controller. And this particular one handles 12, 24, and 48 volt. Whoop, there it goes. Bye-bye. And then, of course, we need some new equipment. So we're going to upgrade the access point to this U6 mesh access point, which is that one. Yay, Wi-Fi 6 at least. And then of course we need another camera, because that one up there needs an upgrade. Actually that camera has had ants and wasps and all sorts in it. It's a bit of a hero. The camera we're going to use is AI Bullet. Ta-da! So I'm actually going to do a separate video on this camera because I haven't done that. So I might not get to it in this video, but that's the idea, is to put that up there instead of the G3 bullet. Right, so we're going to get the AI bullet, and we can also do number plate recognition and all sorts of things. Whee! Right, so we're going to have a new Gate Access kit from Unifi down at the front, and then up here we're going to have Edge Switch 150 running on DC, new solar controller, a new access point, and a new camera. And all will be well. It'll go smoothly and nothing will not work as I expected. Yeah. So at this point, there might be a few of you wondering, why are you upgrading something that works perfectly well? Because it does, it works really well. And in fact, I have a couple other videos on it. One of them is linked there if you want to check out how I installed the first version of my automated gate with Home Assistant, etc., etc. That's a few reasons. First of all, of course, I want to upgrade the equipment, which I just told you about, and I can't do that without replacing all of it essentially. And then why not use the new Access Gate Kit from Unifi? Because, well, it's pretty and it's big and it has a screen and stuff, right? That's the nerdy side of me. Also, the more nerdy side of me is that I really want the Gate Access control and to be into, well, Unifi Access, because it gives me swipe card access, it gives me facial recognition, it gives me code, of course, and it gives me logs, and it gives me events I can use, and there's a new Unifi Access API I can use. There's so many reasons, right? Why the inner nerd in me goes, oh, this is a bit dumb, just a code pad, and I'm using an old G4 doorbell as intercom, right? It kind of works, but the Wi-Fi connection up to there is average and it drops anyway. So that's the technical side of things. The much more practical side is that this is in the wrong spot. When you approach the gate, you can't really see it on camera, and you drive up to this and where your fingers can reach the buttons or whatever, you're actually in the wrong spot to drive through the gate. So you got to back up unless you do it perfectly. So we have a brand new gooseneck coming, which is, I'm going to talk more about that. It's made by a little startup in Australia company that, yeah, it's cool. I'll get to that. But that means that this whole thing, well, this thing essentially, is going to be much out here to where cars actually stop. So that's the practical side of things. And of course I could have moved this to that, but then you wouldn't be happy, right? Because I have read the comments and I see there's a question about the gate access kit on every video pretty much, like, when is it coming? Looking at you, Morden. And it's here, it's now, we're doing it. So I think the first step we need to do is actually unbox it and get it out of the box and see what we're dealing with, because it's still in the wrapper. I haven't even looked at it and I want to look at it. So let's do that now. So here's the gate access starter kit. It's quite a heavy box actually. So let's see what's in it. All right, you ready? Oh, yeah, wow. That is big. So obviously there's a screen on there. Buttons are here. Oh, they're chunky. Oh, chunky buttons, I like that. There's a doorbell. Ding dong. Okay, what's on the back of this? As I expected, a single PoE in. Yay, that's simple. Okay, and then underneath we have the wall mount kit. So this is for putting it on the gooseneck, not the wall, but similar thing. Wow, that is solid. There's nothing else in there, see? Look. That is, oh, that's nice. You can't see this on camera obviously, but this is, yeah, solid device. I think it goes that way. And then we put the Cat 6 in through there, and then we mount it on there like that. Well, that's simple enough. Just bolt it on there. All right, very nice. And it comes with a bunch of screws that we probably need, bolts, screws, etc. And then here's the hub. So this is similar to the access hub for doors, but these are different. So we'll look at this more detail later, but we have here obviously all the LAN ports to plug in things. I'm not sure why there's 4. We'll figure that one out. Yep, there's the PoE in, so that's where that comes from, there to there, from the controller, okay? And then we have gate exit request, gate position, side door exit request, side door position, emergency, gate operator, side door lock 12 volt, and auxiliary. So a whole bunch. We're actually not going to use too many of these, but we'll get to that why I've got a slightly different way of using this, because I'm using with an existing gate. But there's the hub. And then we have these, which are RX it says here, and the other one says TX, so receive and transmit, PoE out, and power. I think these are for the gates, maybe? I'm not actually sure, to be honest, but there's 2 of them. We'll figure all this out. 2 of these, RX, TX, and then here's the bracket for mounting it there, but there's only 1 bracket. Okay, yep. All right, well, we'll figure that one out. By the time we install it, yeah, we'll figure it out. And then there's some screws down here for mounting it. And then down here, ta-da! We have more hardware. Here's a PoE adapter, I think. No. Yeah, PoE++ it says on it. Very good. And of course we have a power cable, which we might not use because we got the edge switch there. So a lot to figure out. I'm not entirely sure what all of this does, if I'm honest, especially not these. But we'll figure that one out. But there's all the bits. So we're going to start here at the front of the gate with the new post that we're going to put in. So here's the old one for comparison, still in. Here's the new monster. So see what I mean? This is going to come out a lot more towards the car where you actually drive up, which is great. And then the gate intercom is going to sit somewhere around here or something. so that when you drive up to it, it's right near the window, arm height, and it sticks out so you don't hit the pole, hopefully. But this is made by an Australian company, a startup called Hybrid Wireless. It is all aluminium. This is 3D printed, and it just fits. The fitment is so nice. Everything is really well done. And they've provided this for the gate. There's actually another project coming in a later video with another product that they've made for Starlink installation, but we'll get to that another time. So Hybrid Wireless has created this, and it's just magnificent. Like, we've painted it, so it comes as aluminium. You can paint whatever color you want. And to my American friends, that is how you say it: aluminium. Got it? Good. And then, yeah, the 3D printed here. There's an angle bracket, angle connector here that makes it go. It's just nice. It looks really good. But we're going to put that in. We're going to cable it all up and put a bracket on for this, etc., etc. And then I'll come back after that. If you're enjoying this video, why not subscribe? It's a big button down below. It'll really help out the channel, and if you want to help further, leave a comment, ask a question, or give it a thumbs up. Maybe check out the merchandise. There's a whole bunch of t-shirts and mugs and things that are kind of neat. I designed it myself. Or you can do a super thanks. There's so many ways that you can help support the channel if you enjoy the work that I'm doing, because I do spend a fair amount of hours on it, all for you. I enjoy this community, I enjoy this channel. So yeah, I'd appreciate your support. Click subscribe, click subscribe. All right, back to the video. New pole, new gooseneck is in. It looks amazing. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the link below for Hybrid Wireless, do that. These are 3D printed, it's like carbon reinforced plastic. Yeah, I don't know, I just think it's fantastic, really nice, and it's not moving. It's in the ground. So the gate kit, the intercom, is actually on there now. As you saw, I had a Cat 6, that's all you need to plug it in. And I must admit that I'm a bit proud of past Lars that considered putting Cat 6 in the old pole in case I ever needed it. And guess what? I need it now. So I know what you're waiting for. Okay, let's do that. Let's have a look at it properly. You ready? Ooh, look at that. Very nice. One huge screen. Is it 1024 by 760 or something like that? It's quite large. Of course, there's a camera at the top. There's a ambient motion detector, I think, ambient light motion detection, something like that. And then there's these big chunky keys down here. It's really quite nice. But we can't turn it on yet, because we haven't done all the other infrastructure up the hill near the solar panel. So that's what we're going to do next before we can actually turn it on and see how that shows up in Unifi Access. So let's do that. So here we are at the other end where we're going to connect the Unifi Gate Access keypad or intercom unit, because this is the solar point. Remember, we're changing this because this only provides 24-volt passive. We can't run the intercom off that or the hub for the gate access. So we need to upgrade it, which means we got to remove all this first so we can put new stuff on there. And there's a few bits and pieces to it, but I'll show you all along the way. But first, we got to get rid of all this. All right, so we got sort of a test rig. This is obviously not the finished product, but everything is kind of connected. It's not all functional yet, so we've still got a few bits to go, but I just wanted to give you a little peek into how it's all connected. So yeah, let me just get you. So on the top of the box here, the first thing is the Victron solar controller, this one. So that's going to be running a 24-volt system based on 1, 2, 3 solar panels so far. So we're going to get 24 volt in, and it's running right now. We had to hook it up as 12 volt to start with. That's a long story, but it's going to be 24 volt. And there's a little app here, which you can see that right now it is charging at 68 watts. So we get a bunch of information in here. That hopefully is going to be a different video where we get all of that lovely data into Home Assistant, but that's not this time. Now this is then connected to the batteries here. That's that connector there that goes down to the batteries, which are just underneath here. Then we have the solar panels are hooked into this bit here, and then this is the load. So that is what actually is powering everything. And lots of wires, I know. First of all, we're powering a step-up converter from 12 to 48 volts, because we need 48 volts. That's why we're running 12 right now, because I bought the wrong converter. It's going to be 24 anyway. That is powering the edge switch, which is there. You can see at the front here. So we've got then 3 connections so far in here. The first one is the nano station. The second one is the access point, which is lying over there neatly in the shade, giving me Wi-Fi. And the third one is the hub, which is the gate access hub. So this is from the gate starter kit. That is the hub that you get out of it. I'm going to talk more about that later, but for now it's powered here by PoE++, which is why we have this device here. That is a PoE adapter that gives 150 watts, or PoE++ is up to like 100 watts. So that is working a treat. Also powered by 48 volts DC. So it's all coming from the batteries. So we have a LAN connection going in there. The PoE comes out of here and goes up to there. And then here we have the gate access the gate access itself, the screen, intercom, is connected there with that blue cable. And this is the gate camera, so which is mounted just up here. So on the pole, we still have up here the nano station and the gate camera. All right, so now let me show you where this blue cable goes. All right, we're gonna go down the front. Goes all the way through here, in there, comes across here, underneath, and goes down there, up the pole, and into the gate intercom thingy place in here. So you can see it says, well, hopefully you can see it. It's kind of glary today, but it says gate. We have directory, we have scan QR code, we have enter pin to unlock, and we have NFC. So I can actually use my door card for the office. Welcome, Lars. Whee! And then we have chunky keys down here and the doorbell. Alright, so before we jump in and look at Unifi Access and Home Assistant and everything, I just want to show you pretty much the finished setup. There's still a few bits to go, like, you know, cables and conduits sort of thing, but it's all there. And I thought I'll just run through it and exactly what there is and how it's all coupled together, so you have an idea of when we go into the software how that affects this. That's the idea. So we're going to look inside the beautiful new cupboard, and we're going to have a look at the intercom as well at the front gate, and then we'll go in and check out Unifi Access and Home Assistant and what actually goes on there and the way I've set it up. So let me start here. So this box is of Amazon. It's an IP55 rated enclosure. There's vents on the side here. There's wasp guards, as I call it, so you can't get wasps in it. That'll still need to be fixed down here. You can see these aren't completely there yet in terms of seal. It's got a nice rubber seal on it here, but I'll put the link down below. So if you are interested, you can see there's different sizes and everything. But let me run you through what's actually happening in here. So just like before, we have the solar controller here with the power PV, the photovoltaic panels coming in here for charging, that charge the battery, which is connected there. And then there's the load here, which is where everything comes out of. And this gives 24 volt out, because that's what the batteries are running. There's two batteries, right? Two 12 volt batteries. Then that load goes to this. This is the 24 to 48 volt converter, so it steps up the voltage, and we need that because all of this runs on 48 volts. Then the power comes out from here, and it goes to, first of all, it goes to the switch, the edge switch, so that's connected on the back here, and that gives it 48 volts. It also goes to this, which is a PoE adapter, which gives you 150 watts of power, which is pretty impressive. So that goes into here, 48 volts goes in here, and then of course we have a LAN connection from the switch here, and then we have PoE++ coming out here, which we need to power the hub. Now we have a bunch of devices here. We have the nano station, of course, again, which gives us internet access, and then we have the camera and the access point here. So yeah, that's pretty normal, like it was before. One other thing before I get to the hub, we have a Shelly here, which is powered by 12 volt coming up through here as well, directly from the battery. And I'll get back to why we have that Shelly here in just a second. Here's the hub, and the hub is powered by PoE, and it has the intercom is connected right there via this first port, and then that goes out to the intercom, obviously, and powers that. There's 3 more ports here, as I showed before as well, which we can use for powering a camera or other things. It is sort of like a mini switch, but that all gives power there. Now, all of these things here, as you can see, I'm not actually using any of them except that one. And you might ask why, which is a good question. Now, up here we have the gate exit request. So that's if someone presses a button and they want to get out, right? So that would go into Unifi Access, and we could then open the gate. We have a gate position sensor, which you see is flashing. I haven't hooked that up because I don't have wiring to go down to the gate for installing a gate position sensor in this way. Then we have side door things. I don't have a side door. Emergency, I haven't hooked that up. We could put something up with an emergency, but I'll show you that in the software as well. But such as, you know, there could be an emergency function. Here is the gate operator, so that's what's actually opening the gate. That is just a relay, which is a circuit, normally open, normally closed, which is why that is connected to the Shelly here. Because I'm using this Shelly to catch that event, and then in Home Assistant, it is triggering the other Shelly, which I'll show you in just a second. And then we have the side door lock here, which I don't have a side door again. There's another gate operator, by the way, because you can have obviously 2 gates operating. Normally you would connect your gates directly into to the circuit here, and then give them the signal that way. But I already had a gate system and gate controller, so I chose to use my existing system, which works well, and then attach this to it. There's a couple of drawbacks, but I'll show you that when we get into Unifi Access as well. And then there's an auxiliary, which I'm not using either. So that's all of the bits that are in here. It's all really neat in this case. This is attached with some double-sided tape, and there's a wire here which goes into the DIN rail, which was provided in the box as well. And speaking of the box, remember the bits that were in there? Now there's the PoE adapter, PoE++ adapter, which is great. It's a great device to be able to give PoE++ to something, but I needed it to come from 48 volts, not 240 volts because I don't have 240 down here. So that's why I use that instead of this, right? So that's that one. Then there were these two, the TX RX things. And on top here, it says like that, PoE out, PoE in. So I think if I'm reading the instructions right, this is for getting the PoE signal to this from far away. Yeah, as in you could put PoE in here in this one, the transmission, then you connect a normal just signal wire here, or just a normal power, two core power wire, and then you receive it with this somewhere else. It could be a long way away, right? Because normally you don't have your gate next to your switch, right, where your hub might be. And then you can put PoE out into this, and then you can power this with this. So you get PoE out, and you can then put that into here, and you can get the signal through that way. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong, but that's what the instructions seems to indicate. In any case, I don't need them. Like in this case, I don't need these for the setup. So at this point, you might say, why did you use that? Because I've used one function of it, like one. Well, I'm not really just one. In terms of hardware, sure, I'm not opening the gates. I didn't need, the reason I have the Shelly here is that I didn't want to dig another trench down to the gate. I could use a Shelly to a Shelly. That was the idea. So I'm using a lot of the software features of Unifi Access, not just a lot of the hardware features here, at least not yet. I might later on put on the gate position center, maybe a gate exit request. That could happen. But for now, I just need the gate operator to have the relay that says, hey, please open the gate, which I then use a whole bunch of places, but we'll get to that. So, all right, let's go down and look at the actual gate and the intercom down there. This is the original gate controller, which I installed along with the gate. And if you want to know more about how all that works in there, go and watch that video. But I have just a Shelly here, just another Shelly 1 Plus, and that's hooked up to 12 volt from, well, the gate controller, which comes from the battery. And then it just has the signal here to close the loop, normally closed. And when that Shelly up there, the primary Shelly, gets the relay switch, when that, the gate's opening, that sends a signal to this Shelly that then opens the gate. It's that simple. I'll show you in Home Assistant how it's all set up, but super easy. Really, really simple. But yeah, that's the original gate controller. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's have a look at the intercom. So here's the actual intercom of the gate kit. This is the cool part, right? I've used it for a couple of weeks while we were ironing out bugs and I was waiting for parts to finish everything off. But let me show you some of the features that you get on the screen that you can then also enable and disable in the software. So here, let me just show you. All right, so here's the intercom, and you can see the screen is on right now because facial recognition is enabled. And we can see down here what are the options we can have for entering. And I've just switched everything on right now. We have facial recognition, we have a swipe card, so that's the NFC card like this, right? I won't tap it just yet. And then we have the phone, via phone, you can unlock it via phone. We have phone tap, and we have a PIN code. So all of those are valid ways of opening this gate. So for example, if I stand in front of it, you can see here, it'll welcome Lars. So my face works. I can also tap and by the way, the gate's opening behind us. You can't see that right now. I can tap the card, which is the exact same profile in Unifi ID. And then that stopped the gate from opening. I can then take my phone and I can just, because I've got the Unifi ID app on here, I can just tap that as well. There we go. Welcome Lars. Again, it's the same thing. And then of course we have via the app, or we have via a PIN code, which you just type in here with the PIN code. And then of course you can also just press the doorbell here, and I've got my phone. You can see that it'll then ring on my phone. There we go, incoming call from gate. And if I then press it, there's me. And then it goes mad because of feedback, right? So that works beautifully well, works really, really well. You can also scan a QR code. So if I press on that, you can actually point a QR code on the screen, which is a neat way of giving people limited access. You can give like a tradie that needs to come and fix your tap for 2 days, you give them a QR code for 2 days, they just scan it, they can get in. That is pretty cool. And of course up here we have the camera, like there, hello. And this thing here is an LED. That's the light at night. So for facial recognition, for example, it'll turn that on so that you can see it. Oh, we've got a friend. Hello, Ant. Just checking out the thing. So and this is solid. Like I love this. It's so chunky and the buttons work really well. I'll just cancel that one. So let's now go into Unifi Access and Home Assistant and see how all of that is put together. All right, it's time to see how Unifi Access works and also Home Assistant, what I've done there. So let's just jump straight into Unifi Access. So one note here is that I have updated this to the early access version of Unifi Access, well, of my Dream Machine, in fact. So if you're not seeing some of the features that I'm showing here, it may be because you're on the release schedule or the release channel and not early access. So just bear that in mind. Now, here are my 5 Unifi Access devices. I have my gate entry, which is the intercom. I have my gate hub, which is one we saw in the box just before. And then I have the office door hub and the office door entry and exit. So those are the 5. If you want to know more about the office door exit and entry, there's more videos on that as well. But I'm going to start here with the gate hub because that's probably where most of it happens. So this is the white box that's in the electrical box that I set up on the post, and we have the usual small bits of information here. But we can also see that there is a gate which has a paired device, so that's the gate entry, and the side door is not there. So I could disable it, but I might do that later on so that it doesn't confuse. But I wanted you to see it, right? I can of course manage the paired devices, so I could pair something else to the side door or the gate if I wanted to. If I go to settings though, it looks at first like there's not much to do. It's kind of deceptive. We can give it a name, which I've done, Gate Hub, but then we have the terminal manager, which is pretty much where everything happens. So this goes into a full screen view. And then at the top here, these connectors or these groups of things here corresponds to the actual hub, what's on the actual connectors, the relays and whatnot. So we have what's relevant to the gate. So we have the gate closing. That's the one where I've plugged in the Shelly. That's that one here, the first plus and minus. There's the second gate. Then we have normally closed, normally open for, I can't remember now actually, whatever that is, but that relates to that. So we have a bunch of things that we can change relating to these connectors. And that's what I meant. I said, well, I'm using a lot of the software bits rather than the hardware in this case. So we have gate closing action. You can see you hover over here, specify how the gate closing action is triggered by a third-party operator connected to the UA hub gate. The UA hub gate's built-in auto close timer or manual action, such as using a remote controller. I've chosen manually because I'm using my old gate controller. So you can see here, you can choose the others as well. Now, if you wanted to use all of the functionality and you had the gates connected directly to the hub, you could use gate closed by gate operator or gate closed by gate hub, right? But I can't because it wouldn't work. There's some safety guidance that's around, make sure you don't squish things in it. Safety. Then you choose your driveway, whether it is a single or double. When you choose manually, you can only choose single driveway. This is why if you have an entry and an exit, right? So you could choose double if you use the automatic built-in stuff like these things here. Then we have the gate. So we name the gate. We have the gate operator, gate opener activation duration. So this is how long the relay is on for. So when I hit open or trigger, I think it says in the app, for example, or I swipe the NFC card, that's how long that relay stays open. So is what it says. There's literally a sound of the relay clicking. So you can change that if you need that to be shorter or longer. 1 second works just fine for my purposes. Then we have the gate exit request. So the trigger level is close active. So this is the circuit. It is whether it's closed or you can have it normally open. So close is active, or open active, which means normally closed is the setting. I hope that makes sense. Imagine a loop, a circuit. And if it's normally open, that means it's broken. If it's normally closed, that means it's connected, right? So you can set that for the exit request. I might do that later on. Use that. Could be neat. The gate position. Gate position is detected as not connected. Yeah, I haven't got that connected. If a gate is closed manually, a gate position sensor must be connected to the UA hub gate to ensure license plate unlock functions properly. So this is one of the caveats. I cannot use the native license plate or number plate unlock if I don't have a gate position sensor. I'm not sure of the details on that. Maybe someone in the comments can actually tell me, but I can't use that. I can do it other ways, which I might do in a separate video, but using Home Assistant. And then we have license plate detection cooldown, so like how long before it actually detects a new license plate, right? So this says this prevents duplicate entries and enhances license plate unlock accuracy. So if that's what you're getting the gate kit for, is the license plate reader and automatic unlock, you will need a gate position sensor. That's just how it is. All right, so that has to do with the gate. We have then the side door, which is similar things. Give it a name. We have side door exit request, again, close active or close open active. Then we have side door position. Again, you can put a position sensor on there, and then side door lock. How long is it unlocked for? We can choose whatever seconds we want, right? Pretty simple. There's not much to it there. I don't have a side door. Maybe, a fair way down the track, I might put a side door in. Right now, we just have a gap in the fence. So maybe we'll upgrade that when we do a new fence. Then there's emergency. This is just a single signal. So the emergency mode is evacuation or lockdown. So evacuation is that everything opens, so the gate would open. Lockdown is that nothing will open. Right, so it depends on what type of emergency you want. But that's a general thing for Unifi Access. You can do the same with other doors. And again, trigger level, again, we can choose open or close as the active. And then lastly, we have a siren. So we could have, whoop, whoop, for example, when the gate opens, put a siren if it's a busy street or something. That could be a safety feature. We can have an alarm for gate, an alarm for both gate and side door, just side door, or never. So right now, I don't actually have a siren attached. I have considered it just cause, but I don't know what siren to get, and I'm not sure exactly how that would work. But because it's not connected, I don't have to change it. And trigger open gate alarm after, and then you can use immediately, or you can have it wait. So there's a lot of settings in here that you can choose, you can fiddle with for the hub. All right, so that's the hub. Let's have a look at the intercom. So if I go back to my devices, and I click on the gate entry, which is the intercom, and we get this to update. So first of all, I can click on here and I can get live view. So this is right now, it's morning. Click to activate, that means open. So I can actually open the gate directly from in here. And it says now it's closed, but it doesn't know. It doesn't have a position sensor. So it always says closed, I think. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Now, you cannot stream this to an NVR. I would love to have this streaming directly to an NVR and store the footage because, lots of stuff goes on down the front. But that's not an option. You can only stream it when you look at it, when it's open here or in the app. So that's just how Access works. We have, again, a bunch of status here. Then we have some insights. This is who has gone in and out. So you can see here that last night I initiated talk. I was testing a bunch of stuff actually when I recorded the other bit that you just saw. And then there's, you see the whole thing here. Someone means that someone has put in, the, like with the, I don't know, with the code or something. And then of course we have settings, which is, I'll get to the caller manager in just a second. There's the access methods for it. We have the NFC card, as I was showing you on the screen, mobile unlock, face unlock, PIN, and QR code. And then we have mobile button. So that's in the actual app. You can open it with a button. And then we have mobile tap. So I can tap the phone on there, right? Mobile button, mobile unlock. What's the difference? I'm not sure. Yeah, if you know, again, let me know in the comments. Then we have video recording. How much do we record? Because we do get video recording for events, so it will store that. So if I think I can get them here, if I go to Insights, can I see this here? No, I have to go to the dashboard. Just bear with me here. So you can see here down here, when I scroll over the recent unlocks, I can actually click play, and you get a little there. That's me recording it. Oh, and I'll go out. Yep, that's it. Or you can click on it, you get a bigger view. I would love to have that streaming again to an NVR. Anyway, let me just go back here to the intercom because the settings is kind of interesting. So you can choose how long you want the video to record before and after for the event. Here's the display, right? So you can put a heading, you can put a logo. So here's the logo for our farm, and you can put an image. Now, bear in mind, if you have face detection enabled, it will not show that background because it'll show the camera, the face, right? So if you want to show the background, you can't have face detection on there. That's just what I've experienced. So I might actually take face detection off at the gate because that looks pretty and we have guests coming and that looks better and I won't recognize their face anyway. So I could just use my tap card, but we'll see. There's many options. Then we have auto floodlight. This needs to be on for face unlock. The floodlight is the bar at the top, remember? And then we have display brightness, just auto, that's fine. And then there's the volume of the actual speaker on there. That's probably a little bit higher. There we go, can apply changes. And then we just have the normal manage stuff down here. Now let me just go back to the caller manager. So this is how you decide who will receive the calls. Right, so I have here chosen the gate entry. You can manage receivers. So if I click on that, I can choose other people here. So we have Fiona, we have Home Assistant is a user I have just for that. That would make no sense. Keith is our neighbor. And then we have all the guests, right? So right now it's me and Chris, which is that one, that gets a notification when someone rings the doorbell. So that makes sense, right? I could also create a phone number, add phone number to receive calls. I haven't played with that yet. Or I could use the directory, right? So if this was for not a farm, but say a company, you can set up a whole directory and you can choose on the screen and the intercom who you would like to call, right? So if I click on use directory, you can see here that I need to put in display names and dial codes and all that sort of stuff, right? So you can use that as well, which is very handy. Not for me here, that doesn't make any sense. I just have some users, but that works very enterprisey as well. So in here, I could then add more if I want Fiona to add it as well. I could then save that, and you can see here that then that would show up there, right? So, but she doesn't want the doorbell calls there. It comes through Home Assistant instead. Right. I think that's everything I wanted to show you for the Gate Access Kit in Unifi Access. So the just bear in mind the settings here. If you want to have face unlock, you need to enable here, allow users to unlock doors by face scanning. At time of recording, you need the early access version of Unifi Access to enable this. And there's some anti-spoofing here. Like, so you can't just show a picture of someone's face. It has to be an actual face. So that's good. If you set it on high, as it says, you have to position their face within the frame that is shown on the screen. Right now, it just detects anything in the screen. So I could be in the background going, and it would open the gate. Yeah, so there's emergency mode of it we talked about before. I can do that. And a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, if you want to know more about Unifi Access, I've done other videos on that as well. So go and check those out. That is it for the kit. Now, obviously, as I said, I have used it differently. So let's have a look at Home Assistant, which is here. There is a Unifi Access integration. Now, the person who is developing it, or people, I'm not sure how many it is, says that this is very much not supported and it's not, it's beta. I've had no problems. It's worked beautifully. So you just add the Unifi Access integration directly from GitHub as a repository. And then it comes into here. And then we have just like any other integration. So I have 4 devices on here. So let's have a look at the devices. It comes up as all doors because that's set up as a group in Unifi Access. But in essence, I have the gate and the office door. The side door doesn't exist, but it picks it up anyway. So let's go to the gate. And I'll show you what we have here. So this comes directly from Unifi Access through the Home Assistant through this integration, right? I have gate unlock, and then I have a door position sensor, which is not hooked up. So that's why it says open, even though it's closed. And then we have the doorbell. So we can actually get doorbell events. Hey, that's the one I really need. And then you can see there are some events here. We have an access 3 minutes ago. This was from the door here, office door, I think. And then the doorbell down the front, which was rung. And you can see more logbook here. So let me show you how I use it with the Shelleys, right? So the Shelleys, by the way, are in here too. So let me just go back. I have here in Shelley, there's 18 devices. I've just added it as another Shelley integration, nothing special. You can see it in here. I have Shelley gate, primary and secondary. So if let me just make, there we go. Sorry, that's a bit bigger. That's better. It just comes up like this, a switch in the Shelly. That's it. That's all I need, just a switch, right? Because remember, the Shelly is hooked into, one side is hooked into the hub and the other side hooked into the gate controller that's on the post down there. So if I go to my Node-RED, so I'm using Node-RED, you can use Unifi automations as well. And I go and find the gate here. In here, I have a bunch of gate automations. So up here I have the doorbell. So this is how you find the doorbell. This is, I had to do a bit of trial and error for this, but the event type is Unifi _access _doorbell _start. That's the event you catch. And then your event data will tell you what the name is. So I'm saying, well, if the door name is gate, because I don't want the office doorbell to do the same, right? I could then put office here instead if I wanted a different automation. So I catch that event. When that's caught, I go up here and go ding dong with text to speech. So a bunch of my devices, Google Hubs and whatnot, go ding dong, someone's at the gate. I have a debug just because I like seeing the output sometimes. This is for Home Assistant. I have done a whole other video with the gate on how all this works, but this is to get a notification from Home Assistant with a picture where you can open the gate in an action on the actual notification. Here is how I open the gate through the notification from Home Assistant, specifically here, so app notification action. But down here, I have two other flows, I guess. I can open the gate permanently. So if I want to open the gate fully, because it always closes after a minute, I've measured how long it takes to open it fully, which is 22 seconds. So after 21 seconds, I click, essentially I open the gate again, which makes it stop. So that's what this does. And then this is all what the Shellys do. It is that simple. Here's the open gate primary. So if that is on, in other words, if something triggers the Shelly, so that's someone clicking somewhere through Unifi Access, opening the gate, so that's through an NFC card or facial recognition or through the app or tapping it or punching in the code, all of it is the same action. And that then gives the Shelly a notification or an event and says, hey, oh, trigger. And then all I do is say, if that is on for 0 minutes, because it just goes tick, tick, remember, for a second, I then go to the second Shelly, which is in the control unit, the gray box on the gate itself. And then I just switch it, or toggle it, sorry, rather, with the switch. That's it. I just go click. And then I've set the Shelly up so that's it just stays on for half a second, I think, and then turns off, right? But that's it. That's all I need to do to connect the two Shellys. I didn't need to do anything special with the Shellys other than this secondary gate that just, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a short on-off. So it goes tick, tick, and then the gate controller goes, oh, open, right? So that's all I had to do. But that's it. That is Unifi Access. That is Home Assistant. That is how I've set it all up. Again, got any questions around this, either check out the other videos or put a comment or question down below and I will answer it as best as I can. So yeah, very neat. I like it. It's slick. It works. So that's my setup of the Unifi Gate Access Starter Kit. It's kind of neat. I like it a lot. I like this a lot better. It's very smooth. I like this pole from Hybrid Wireless. I do want to give them another shout out because they're a small startup. This is one of their first products and there's so much care gone into it. I just can't recommend them enough. So check out their link down below in the description as well. Now I know there's a bunch of stuff. You might have a bunch of questions about stuff that I haven't gone through or I glossed over or whatever. Put them down below. I know, for example, that I still need to put outdoor rated cables for my access point and my nano station and my camera. Yes, they are in the mail. I have ordered them. I just haven't got them yet. I know there's a bunch of cable management with the batteries. Yes, you saw that on top of the batteries, right? That was on purpose. I wanted you to see how things are almost done, but not quite finished, right? It's a work in progress, but I'm so happy with it. It all works so smoothly. The new with the old, my old gate controller works just as before. It doesn't even know that there's something else attached to it. This intercom here works really well. at night, during the day. It has keypads, it has lots of options for identification. I can't fault it. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, if you have any questions, anything at all about this video, put them down below. And as always, if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing, maybe even give it a thumbs up or check out the merch. Do something to support the channel if you want to. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'm now gonna go and prepare all the other bits that I need to upgrade the gate with, probably. All right, bye.